Hey guys, in this video, I want to talk to you not only about why ceramics are such a profitable thing to add to your detailing business, just in a general sense, but I also want to talk about how you can make $100 an hour implementing these in a creative way and how they can actually lead to way more regular business than you would have otherwise. Now, what you guys are looking at is a 2014 dark blue Toyota Prius that I put a ceramic coating on about a year ago, actually a little over a year ago now, and I put a Nasiol coating. It's called their ZR53. It's kind of my favorite all-around coating. Of course, I'm going to hook that up in the description box below, and in this video, we're also going to get to see how well it has lasted, because this has kind of been an experiment vehicle for me in that I don't maintenance this Prius on a regular basis, and you can see this is actually my wife's car, so it ends up being a great experimentation car. I have to use my car and her car to experiment with certain products so that I can get some empirical data on them. But I'm going to be showing different ceramic coating videos in the next couple weeks, particularly on your daily drivers, but also on nicer vehicles like Aston Martins and different clients that I have that I maintenance. I want to really dig into this because this is a hugely profitable area of the detailing business. So with that being said, I want to jump into my first main point here. Number one, ceramics are extremely profitable on the front end. So I'll give you guys a little bit of insight into my own pricing tier, how I do this. On a sedan size vehicle like this, I consider the Prius just a regular sedan, just like I would like a Honda Accord or any vehicle around this size. I pretty much charge a minimum of $1,000 to install any sort of ceramic coating on that size vehicle. It only goes up from there, and also depending on the condition, of course, that price will increase from there. So right on the front end, a $1,000 price point for a job that, let's say, in some ways can take more than 24 hours. I would say the average ceramic probably takes me between not 24 hours, I'm sorry, like a day to a day and a half, but not the full 24 hours. Of course, you know, maybe I work 10 hours one day and four hours the next day, 14 hours to install it completely. And when I'm pricing these kind of things out, of course, yes, I'm pricing it based on the amount of work I'm going to do, but more than anything, I can, at this point in my just detailing experience, consider the level of work that it's going to take and then extrapolate how much time it's going to take off of that. And so on that front, I want to make a minimum of $100 an hour when we're talking about the installation of the ceramic coating. Now, I want to get into a lot cooler numbers in just a second, but just on the front end, this is absolutely a $100 an hour job. I think that's even, I would call that an industry standard. Like, I don't know how many detailers in the world, in the UK or in, United States, Canada, would argue with that. I think that's pretty consistent across all platforms, across all detailing businesses. And by the way, I mean that as a minimum. I don't mean that as that is the only thing you can charge. I actually just consider that something that I wouldn't install for less than $100. Now, I really want to get into the meat of what I want to talk about in this video because, yes, while installing ceramics is an incredibly profitable thing to do and an awesome thing to add to your detailing repertoire, your detailing business, and it is probably about 80 to 85% of what I do now. Generally, I'm not doing just regular details anymore. Most of the time, I am installing and maintaining ceramic coatings and, of course, shooting videos about all of that. The best part about installing ceramics is that I would consider ceramic coatings to be one of the best things in the detailing industry that leads to maintenance clients. And I want to break that down here because there's a lot to unpack with that statement that I just made, that ceramic coatings are one of the best ways to lead to maintenance clients. It's almost like taking the key and unlocking the door to this whole new world of a profitable detailing business, a way to structure your detailing business. Here's what I mean by this. When a customer is willing to pay, say, between $1,000 and $1,500 is probably the average, to install a ceramic coating on their vehicle, and for the sake of the argument, let's just say these are higher end vehicles. So we're talking things like, for example, the Aston Martin that I'm going to show, or let's just say BMW, Mercedes, not the nicest vehicles, but just higher end vehicles. When a customer is willing to pay that kind of money, particularly on the front end when they buy the car, to install that ceramic coating to ensure that that paint stays in good condition, generally speaking, that customer is what any salesperson would call like a warm lead, right? It's not a cold call. It's somebody who's already spent a significant amount of money to take care of their paint, and it is always they teach this, business 101. If you go to college for business, they'll always tell you it's always less expensive, or it's always almost easier to get more business from an existing customer than it is to go out and get new customers. This is one of those areas where I think a really, really powerful kind of sleeping giant ideology lies in the detailing world. When somebody spends that significant amount of money, and it is a significant amount of money for most, consumers. When they spend that on their vehicle, they are very, very likely to spend more money on their vehicle in order to maintain that which they spent a lot of money to install. Let me repeat that one time really quickly. When someone spends a significant amount of money to install a ceramic coating onto their on the exterior of their vehicle, they are generally speaking very willing to spend money moving forward to maintain that which they spent a lot of money to install. So I would say that if you're talking about, say, a conversion rate, if I were to say, what's my conversion rate for people who I install ceramics with to people who become maintenance client? More than half of those people become maintenance clients of mine. So I have over a 50% conversion rate when it comes to customers where I install the ceramic and then see the ceramic on a regular basis, see the vehicle on a regular basis. And this is just what I would call serious leverage in the auto detailing world. When you can build up a base of clients like that, this is called dependable income, predictable income. This is what you're really after in the auto detailing world. Now, I want to move on to another point here. Outside of the fact that most of these people convert into maintenance clients because they are people who deeply care about the value that you bring to keeping their car in good condition, and once again, they're willing to pay for it. Apart from that, I want to talk about the physical nature of a ceramic coating and how this affects your reputation, because these are just things that I've found legitimately, they just happen in my experience in the last decade of detailing. These are just things that I've noticed, patterns that I've noticed with doing a lot of business like this. Because a ceramic coating keeps the vehicle in such stellar condition without even you doing that much work. So for example, like I said, this Prius is an experimental car for me. So I'm actually experimenting with the Nasiol ZR53. It's kind of their entry-level coating. It's a great all-in-one coating, great for beginners. It's not the one I choose every time, but I wanted to see basically how well it would last apart from regular maintenancing, and I'm going to show you guys some of those kind of scenes or pics from this video here soon in just a second. But my point being is, this video is going to show you guys how well this ceramic coating stayed in that kind of original intact mode. Probably me maintaining this car 2 to 3 times a year. And that's kind of the question. If I maintenance this vehicle 2 to 3 times a year, does the coating still stay intact? And the answer in this case was absolutely yes. There's a huge power play in this, and I want to break it down here. The fact that this vehicle is going to stay in fantastic condition apart from extreme work on my part, number one, the obvious conclusion I can come to here is this is amazing because I'm saving energy, product, time, effort, frustration, all of that stuff, and the vehicle stays in great condition. You guys know, if you've detailed for any period of time at all professionally, how different it is detailing a 2010, horrible Toyota Camry that the clear coat is flaking off and you have clear coat failure and it's just in terrible condition. Detailing that car versus detailing a 2020 Honda Pilot that is in fantastic condition and barely even needs to be clay barred. The end results between those two vehicles based on the effort you put in is so dramatically different. It's so much more encouraging to detail those vehicles that are in really good condition already, right? It's so much easier, and they also just turn out so much better. That is what this ceramic coating allows me to do here. And here's what the equation looks like and why I think it's so powerful. Less effort, less time, less product equals the same or better results as I would otherwise get putting in double the effort, double the product, double the time. Okay, less effort, less time, less product, and I'm still getting even better results than I would with vehicles that are not coated. My customer considers me a superhero in this situation. This is what I would kind of relate to, say, putting a fabric protectant on a new vehicle's carpet, all of the upholstery and the carpet. It's not going to keep the vehicle or the carpet from getting dirty, but it changes the game when you go to detail it again when it gets dirty. When I detail upholstery or fabric that I have protected previously, I'm able to get virtually 100% of the dirt or staining out that my customer thought was going to be a big deal. They then look at me and kiss the ground I walk on and think, Luke, I don't even know how you did that, but thank you so much. This looks fantastic. That's the kind of thing that happens with the ceramic coating I've found. In many ways, a ceramic coating actually makes the vehicle look way better than it does even just off of the showroom floor. And so when I come to maintenance it, even when it's dirtier and that ceramic coating has been applied, the finished result is so dramatic that the customer is, truth be told, just in awe. And once again, it's not because I put in extra time. It's not because I put in extra product. It's not because I put in extra effort. Now, granted, on the front end, you definitely put into a significant amount of time to install the coating and do all that stuff. But once that work is in, you begin to relax and you don't have to go through that again. That's the kind of business I like. I like putting in work on the front end and then maintaining things from there. I don't think maintaining is actually a word, though I say it all the time. Maintaining things from there. And guys, real fast, speaking of maintaining or maintaining things, we've been killing it on hitting the like button. But before we go any further, if you like this information, just smash the like button below this video because it does help this video in the YouTube algorithm get out to more people who need good information like this, who are auto detailers. So if you like this video, destroy the like button below. Now, quickly, I want to look at what this ceramic coating looks like as far as the hydrophobic properties after maintaining it, I believe, 2 times in the last year since it was applied. This is the Nasyal ZR53. You guys can see on this front fender here, the hydrophobic properties are fantastic. It's still repelling water like a champ. I'm giving you guys a few different angles here. I want you to see it. And really what I was experimenting with this. I didn't have any conclusion in mind before I did this. This is one of the things, this is kind of part of my job, actually, experimenting with products and kind of experimenting with companies. I work with a lot of companies who develop products, and so this is one of those things I get to do that's a lot of fun, but you can see incredible results. I mean, considering that I maintained the exterior twice in the last year since that coating was applied, it's just really fantastic. I'm doing a little bit of claying to get some of those last minute bugs off. I've got a really light, really not abrasive, not a heavy clay bar at all, and then using just an O&R solution. Then I'm just gonna go ahead and do all the windows as well because it's just easier to deal with glass that way. Now, I want to get back to something I touched on before because there's a lot of power in this and I want to break it down a little bit further. I said that your client will look at you as a superhero because the coating itself is keeping that vehicle in such fantastic condition apart from your time being put in, your effort, your products, your money, your blood, sweat, and tears. That car is staying in fantastic condition so that when you see it, the person always associates you with this incredible detailing ability. And while that is probably true, you probably do have a good detailing ability. A lot of times, good detailing ability is kind of dependent on the tools and products you have. Not in any case, but sometimes that is the case, like with this ceramic coating situation I'm talking about here. Normally, the clients, in my experience, like I told you guys, my business is basically made up of old, retired, rich people. And generally, they're older, but I have a lot of clients who could have retired, but they didn't, but they're in like their mid-30s, late 30s, and early 40s, who are also very wealthy, who started companies. Generally, they're entrepreneurs. Those guys are the ones who always, of course, inevitably end up putting the ceramics on their vehicles. And those guys are also the ones who talk to their other friends who also love and have an emotional attachment to their car. And I can tell you just from my experience in being around a lot of these guys in my own business, they really value people who they feel like, what would I say, they're getting top-notch service. If you can make them feel like, and honestly give it to them, but of course, if you can make them feel like they are getting absolutely the best of you, then they will talk to their friends, and this will build a very strong word-of-mouth reputation for this part of your business, and that is where I saw things exponentially begin to grow. So you can take that to the bank. I want to talk about the Last Coat real fast. I'm using the Last Coat ceramic topper. This is generally my go-to. If you guys are wondering what kind of product you can use to top off a ceramic coating and really maintain it, Honestly speaking, I don't know if there is a better product than the last coat. I've used it for the past about year and a half now, really consistently in a ton of different situations, experimented, again, because it's kind of my job, with this product in a ton of different situations on different ceramic coatings, on bare paint, different colored paints, different kinds of paints, and it just does a fantastic job. So this is kind of their 2.0 version. I'm also going to be showing you guys some other products and new videos of some of their newer products that are really fantastic. But if you want to check out the last coat, you guys can look at the links below this video. As always, they will be down there. Now, just to kind of wrap things up, I want to give you guys two last points here, and hitting on what I said before, you want to attract the kind of clientele I am talking about. I can promise you, you want to attract that kind of clientele who genuinely wants this kind of thing put on their vehicle. Having said that, I also have experienced a huge market for ceramic coatings on daily driver vehicles, but specifically when the person buys the car new, okay? So generally speaking, again, these ceramic coatings, you're going to attract, guys who really value their car. They have nicer, higher end vehicles, but I do just want to make the point here, kind of the second point here, that while yes, that is my main market, there's also this niche that I think is really expanding and will exponentially grow in the next 3 to 5 years, and that is customers who are buying vehicles, sometimes their first new vehicle in their life, and it's generally an entry-level vehicle, Toyota, Honda, whatever that may be, maybe even a Kia, but it's nice to them, they love it, and it's new. If you can capture that person in that period of time, selling a ceramic becomes so simple, and that is where the $100 an hour happens, not only in the installation, but also in the maintenancing. You can maintenance a ceramic coating sometimes in even half the time, or a quarter, or maybe 75% of the time of a regular maintenance, what would I call exterior maintenance detail. Sometimes the ceramics take even less time than the regular exterior maintenance do. And of course, generally, I don't even show up to people's homes like this for less than $100. And so you're talking about $100 on every end of this, not only in the installation, and you can even work in the cost of your product, because ceramics do tend to be expensive. I tend to work in 50% of the cost of the product to the overall cost of the service, so that I'm only out that 50% of the product. But outside of that, maintenancing it is where that $100 an hour hits again. It's that double, kind of just two sides to every coin. So that being said, I really hope this was helpful, guys. If this was helpful, hit the like button so that more detailers can see this type of video, because oftentimes detailers and their businesses really fail because it is difficult to find profitable category or niches within the detailing business that are sustainable over the long term. And that's really what I'm interested in talking about, is sustainable long-term detailing strategies. You guys can see the last coat did a fantastic job coating this car, topping it off. I mean, the end result looks just unreal. If you guys want to see a full list of the products that I used here, because I know I didn't go into detail about it, I'll list out every single product and every single tool below this video in the description box, so use those links if you want to check out any of that stuff. If you're new to the Wilson Auto Detailing community, hit the subscribe button and tap the bell icon for more videos just like this. Guys, thank you so much for watching. As always, keep working hard, and I'll see you in the next video.